Hi, welcome to Talking with LaToya. Hey, y'all, come on, sit down, let's talk. Why are you always apologizing for putting yourself first? Why are you always telling people, like, oh, I'm sorry, I could not attend your event because I had to do something for myself. I wish I could have been there. Why are you always apologizing? Let's stop apologizing. It's okay to put ourselves first, okay? So put yourself first. Start apologizing. I know that in school, we were taught to always consider others and to look out for other people. Of course, we were educated, but no one ever taught us how to love ourselves or how to put ourselves first. Or even in society, a lot of times uh, people will brand you as being selfish when they say, oh, that person is selfish because they're always looking out for themselves. Yes, that is true. You do have some people who are selfish or whoever they call, like to say narcissists. Now, narcissists, that's different. That's different. But I want to tell you, it's okay. It is okay. And we don't have to apologize. And when I say we don't have to apologize, because I was once that person and I still have to be mindful of when I put myself on the back burner and put other people before me. Now, of course, moms, I'm going to talk about the moms because I'm a single mother. If you have a child, now your child is of age, maybe under 9 or something, or maybe under 10. Of course, being a parent or a mom, you are going to consider your children first. Now, that's different. But if your child is like 16, 17, or you have a grown adult child, they're an adult, so it's time for you to put yourself first. It's okay to consider their feelings or whatever, but it's time for you to look out for you and yourself. One of the things that I have noticed, I don't know if this happened to you, but it's happened to me. A lot of times when we have people maybe in our lives that pass and they leave, and we have the question of how that person wasn't sick. Oh my gosh, they were so young, or that they were such a great person. And it's so crazy because I've known a lot of great people, unfortunately, that have passed. Not that I'm smiling, but I mean, when I think about how great they were and how they impacted my life, and it was like a shocker. I mean, it really got me. It was like, wait a minute, why they're gone? They were such a good person. Oh my God, they looked out for everybody. Or you can definitely think about a lot of the memories of how they impacted your life, especially positive, especially things they done for you, how they supported you. And if you think about it, a lot of times it was because they did not take care of themselves. Not saying every situation, but I know I have a few of my friends that I have lost, and they were great individuals, great people, always caring, there for people. Like I have a friend that I just lost, and I remember her from high school, grade school. When I lost my father, she was there. And it was like she was always a mother. And we call her a young mother. But so put yourself first. You only got one life. Put yourself first and stop apologizing. Okay? We ain't got to apologize no more. This is our life. We get to live it. And the people that we come in contact with, it is a blessing for us to know them. Okay? And it's a blessing for them to know us. You're the one, not the two. It's okay. You come first, not second, third, fourth, or fifth. You come first because you do have to preserve yourself. You got to preserve your energy. And we cannot pour into anyone's life if we're depleted. If we're depleted, if we're just overly burned out or overworked and put everybody first, it's not going to work. And I know sometimes we do it on these jobs. Yes, I did say jobs, especially when you're in your career and you have a certain goal that you want to meet. A lot of times we take on overly a lot more responsibility. Or even if you're a caring person, or like a lot of people like to say, if you're an empath or you're a person that has empathy for other people, sometimes you become a caregiver when you're just looking out for everybody else and you do it on your job. You take on extra responsibilities and you're making sure everybody else on the job is okay. And it's like, okay, are you okay? Okay, are you overextended? And what I've learned as well, sometimes people, they begun expecting us to be those people, just like all the time. I could go to this person And not that it's bad, but a lot of times when you put other people first, it's like we put ourselves in these positions and we put ourselves in that position as being the go-to person, always coming, always leaning, always having an ear, which is fine. But there's sometimes when you need an ear. There's sometimes when you need to say, okay, I need this time. I mean, I know the answer, but let me just lay back and just relax. Or even sometimes when you may not be able to make it to all of the events, or you may just want to sit home that evening and spend whatever time, 30 minutes of sunshine is what I call it. I call mine, I have 30 minutes of sunlight. That's what I call it. When I spend 30 minutes every day outside, usually outside my yard, outside wherever, or walking, 30 minutes, and I turn my phone off. And I call it sunshine because I'm usually outside, I'm looking at the sun. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually helps my mood and it actually improves my health. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think if you put yourself first, if you get into the practice of prioritizing your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being before you cater to others, you think you can do it? Do you think your life will be fulfilled? Do you think you'll still have the wonderful, beautiful life that you have now? Yes, you will. I think so. Matter of fact, I think your life would be better because you will enjoy it more. You have more to give. And then one thing too, you will have more peace in yourself. And I think your family members and everybody else would appreciate you for that. So stop apologizing. Don't apologize. We're not apologizing anymore, okay? We're not going to apologize and say, oh, I'm so sorry. But it's okay. It's okay. It happens. One of the things also is that I realize when we put other people first, it's like sometimes become a people pleaser. And when I say people pleaser, it's because we just want everybody to be happy. And we look at it saying, oh, I just want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be peaceful. But are you peaceful? Everybody else happy, but are you really happy deep down? And so, you know, how they be like, oh, come by, y'all, I want everybody to be happy. And, maybe you avoiding a person who avoids confrontation, or you don't like confrontation, you don't like to argue, you don't like stuff to be in discord. So you end up being a people's pleaser and you just totally put other people first, or just may not consciously know that you're doing it. You just do it subconsciously because you just like to keep the peace and you think that that's a way that you can help maintain peace in other people's lives. Something that I call it being in people bondage. And being a people pleaser can lead into being people bondage because you start doing things that you may not be comfortable with, or things that may be out of your scope, or things that just be out your character because you putting other people first. And then they start asking you to do extra things. And you still tend to do it because you're considering and saying, oh, if I don't do this for them, how are they going to feel? Or if I don't come through for them, how are they going to achieve whatever it is they need to achieve? And I'm going to say what I realized as putting other people first and being a people pleaser or being a people bondage is that sometimes you step into positions that you're not equipped for. And when I say that, because sometimes people may have, not saying they don't have a purpose or a goal, and you want to support them, of course, their vision or whatever, but you're not equipped to be in that space. And I'm telling you, for instance, like my best friend, one of my besties, she started a clinic. And I remember she bounced the ideal off of me and I was there. We bounce ideals off each other all the time. And so during the time when she first started launching her clinic and in the process of bringing it to fruition, I got sick. So I would still answer the phone calls, do different things. And, I was really excited. I'm excited about anybody that's winning. If you win it, I'm definitely going to help you. So in that case, I told her, hey, I still volunteer. So I'll still making phone calls, calling, trying to set things up, talking to the state, bouncing ideas off. And I was not my best self. Believe me, I was not my best self. Somebody else pretty sure was well suited at that time because I wasn't 100%. And so even though I was there doing it and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this, it almost became a chore. And what I realized is I volunteered. Later on, I was like, I volunteered. And then I ended up making myself, I affected my health journey. And I ended up I really got really sick. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I was like, LaToya, you was not equipped to be in that position. And we actually had two other friends who could have piggybacked. And then, as a matter of fact, when I got sick, two of our other friends stepped up and they volunteered, and the clinic took off without a hitch. And also as well, I felt like, okay, that sacrifice I put in and what I made, and I was like, well, I should have got something for it. And when I say something for it, what I mean is because my best friend, she ended up closing it. And I felt a certain way, but I was out of line. I was out of pocket. So a lot of times you come with people in bondage to people. We just get in spaces that maybe we're not totally equipped for and maybe don't have the skill set for. Not saying that, sometimes, not saying that you shouldn't extend yourself or enlarge your territory, but some things God don't mean for us to do. And so when you're in people bondage, we do that a lot of times, get into areas or step out in areas that we're not supposed to be in. Okay. So, okay. All right. So, because we like to put other people first doesn't mean that we have low self-esteem. It's the first thing. Sometimes I've heard people say, oh, well, she must have low self-esteem because she always volunteering, always trying to make everybody happy, always trying to be somebody's friend. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Sometimes it's our culture, it's how we was raised. I know I was raised in a home by my grandparents, and we were like the community house. Everyone came to our house, and my grandparents are givers. They always were givers. And it's cool and everything. We always gave, we did whatever it was and volunteer. And so being raised in that culture and in that, well, I was saying that family dynamic and culture, it was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I like it. I love it. And then, so you learn that as being young as well. Like, okay, well, look out for others or help other people. And then if you're the oldest, sometimes you may be tasked with as taking care of your younger siblings. Like your mama say, oh, you the oldest, you gotta look out for them, you gotta put them first. And so a lot of times we may take that into our adult lives and we still look out for our siblings or whatever, and we just put ourselves on the back burner because it does happen. It happens. And so it doesn't mean you have low self-esteem. It's just a lot of times it's how we was raised, our culture. And then you do have some people, yes, you do. You have some people who are just generous people, just like to give, and they like the praises. When I say that, some people like the praises. Some people like getting praised. Yeah. So some people like people to say, oh my God, you helped me, you did this. I ain't saying it's good or bad. I'm not saying that they have other intentions, but they put other people first because they want to get the praises on the end. So I'm not saying that's good or bad, but if you that person, hey, just think about what it's doing to you and how it's affecting you in your daily life. Okay. And I know I'm about to get on religion. Yes, I am about to say religious, because I know I've heard you blessed to be a blessing. And I've heard that a lot. People say, oh, God blessed you with that so you can help other people, which is true. But then when it becomes all the time, you be like, man, I got $10. So I'm supposed to give 8 of it to other people? And when I say 8, what I'm talking about, I know you be like, that's far-fetched. Like, you only got $10. No. But what I mean by that is growing up, and I ain't knocking when I say religious. I'm not saying have a relationship with God. Okay, it's the difference. I'm not saying having a revelation. I'm not saying having a revelation or a true relationship with God and the Holy Spirit is guiding you and telling you what to do. Okay, now there are certain instances where you do put other people first, but we're gonna talk about when it's all the time. And I remember a couple of times when I've heard that a lot. You blessed to be a blessing. You blessed to be a blessing. I'm like, yeah. Oh, you got a new car. You got 2 cars. You need to get one away. I'm like, wait a minute. What you mean? And so it happens. It happens. It happens to us. And so a lot of times we end up putting other people first. And we look at like, what happened to us? Like, okay, why I'm in this situation, or why I don't feel fulfilled, or why did I do that? And I'm going to tell you, oh my gosh, I had my ex, right? He brought me some, this was years ago. Oh my God, how many years? I think it was probably about 25 years ago. So he brought me some diamond earrings. I think he was in Paris, whatever. And he came back. It was a surprise. And I think they was like 3 carat or whatever. I'm not sure, but I know he went and he had them specially made, everything designed and all that. So I was wearing my earrings and I went to a event that was given by a religious entity. And I wore the earrings. I loved those earrings. They was beautiful. And I only wore them certain times. And the first lady was like, "Oh, I love your earrings." And so I told her, I said, yeah, he came back from a line and he came on this trip and he brought me these earrings. And as a gift, she's like, "Oh, they're so beautiful." So she kept eyeing my earrings, right? So the next time I saw, I wasn't wearing them, but she asked about them. And so long story short, I gave her my earrings. And when I say I gave her my earrings, I still think about it. That's crazy, right? How I think about it, because I was such a people pleaser back then. But I remember when I got back and I was going somewhere or something. He asked and he said, "I never see you with your earrings I brought you. Why you don't wear them?" And I was like, And then what happened? He ended up seeing her, and he knew those was my earrings because he had them specially made. And so he was like, "I'm not giving you anything else." But anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, we become people pleasers. We like religious and everything, all that just play a part in putting other people before us. Putting other people before us, and this can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. I'm not telling you just to be totally selfish. You have to have a balance. And when you're a people pleaser and always putting others before yourself, then it's your scale. You're not balanced. It's not a balance in our lives. We just put other people before us and we actually neglecting ourselves. And what will happen is, as far as us preserving our lives and living the best life possible, we want to achieve that. We might feel that we are, but we won't be. And you won't. You won't. Because as well, people sense that and people know and they can feel when you're a people pleaser. And unfortunately, sometimes people will come in your lives and they will take advantage of you. They will take advantage of that. That's like when I'm pretty sure you can read when people are fearful or scared or whatever. And that's, unfortunately, people can read that. And sometimes people will come and attach themselves to us because they know we're people pleasers and we want them to be happy. So we're not going to apologize. We're going to work on that. And I'm not telling you not to bless people. You can. But just be mindful. Just be mindful. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? Okay, because it is something that can be changed. It is something that we can work on. And like I say, with myself, I realized that it was just things that I did. And it was like, did I do that because God told me? Or did I do that because I was just pleasing people? And I know how I definitely came to that fruition was because it was people that I did things for, would go out the way for. And it was just like, it didn't matter. Like, I'd be like, okay, I helped them sponsor that event. And then now they going to something else. And you didn't put your hard work, your time and everything in it. And I was like, ooh, I wasn't supposed to sow into that ground. And when I say that, it's talking about like our talents and our gifts, or even supporting something that may not align with you. Not saying that, maybe it wasn't for you to totally go full in, maybe just for you to give a donation and keep it moving. But then when you come a people's pleaser, anything people ask you, most of the time you will do. And when you put other people first, you always consider how they'll feel, or you consider, oh, well, they need help in walking in their purpose. I'm going to help them. I want them to fulfill it. And then you totally forget, and you go off on what you're intended to do or what you've been purposed to do, because we didn't got distracted. And a lot of times too, that can be a distraction to get us off of our purpose or get us off of our goals. Is when we're people pleasers, is that we get distracted and we just totally go on. We going to the left, supposed to be to the right. So it happens, but it can be corrected. Some of the things that I do is when somebody asks me something, or I think like, okay, what do you really want me to do? So I ask them and I'll say, what is it? I'm not like, oh, I just want you to help. How do you want me to help? And if it's whatever they say, if it doesn't line up with my skill set, then I might be like, nah, I can't do that. I'm not telling you not to stretch or not to enlarge your territory or to learn a new skill. But if they ask me to do something out of scope of my skills, and at that time I don't have the time to develop a new skill or to learn a new skill, then I tell them what I can do or what I'm willing to do. Or even if something doesn't line up with what I believe in. Like I was taken somewhere and with somebody that I know, really great person, and she has a program, and I connected her with another person that could definitely benefit from it. And it was I needed a branding kit, but it didn't come timely, like in time. And I did tell them the date and everything. And I was really, really close to actually doing it for that person. But the old me, definitely about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have did it. I would have done it, did it, took care when he told them after the fact that I did a branding kit for them. But the reason why I didn't do it is because I was really busy. I would have had to stay up. I would have had to sacrifice a night. Nah, it don't take me that long, but I mean, I would have had to sacrifice maybe about 2 hours of sleep. And I really needed that 2 hours of sleep. I know you may say, oh, just 2 hours, but yeah, because I don't sleep a lot at night. But so I told them about it. And so I was like, the deadline is approaching. I was really, really antsy. Oh my gosh, y'all, I wanted to do it so bad. But I knew that I could not put that before my health. I needed those 2 hours that it would take. And I had other projects I was working on. And so I was like, I can't do that. And I didn't do it. I almost felt bad. It kind of came like right at the deadline. And unfortunately, it actually came pretty late. It came kind of late. And I felt kind of bad, but then I had to think about it. I was like, okay, let's say if I would have did that project, the branding kit. Now, this is their project. I didn't hear anything from them. No kind of communication that they needed help or anything on that project. But when I received it, it was late and they knew I had to pass it to someone else. And I thought about it. I said, if I would have did that branding project, sacrificed my 2 hours, went at full steam ahead, like I normally do, and would have opened up that door for them, would they have followed through? And that's what I had to think about. I was like, man, I've been disappointed before because I've taken on things from different people. And I had to think about it. I said, this was a great opportunity for them that I had opened the door. They could have really got their program to a lot of people. Matter of fact, throughout the state. And they didn't respond timely. And they didn't say, hey, this happened or whatever's going on in my life. And I was like, wow, so they really didn't take it serious. And it taught me, like, okay, LaToya, if you would have stepped up and did it, you would have been out of pocket and out of line. But that was part of me. Like I said, the past and the old me would have been a people's pleaser, the people person. I would have been probably sitting there like totally upset if I would have gotten them in those doors, and let's say they missed a couple of those important meetings. I would have been like, oh my God, I thought they was going to be here. But not realizing that you did all the work. And sometimes we want stuff, we want it more than other people. You ever heard the term? I know you heard the term. You can lead the horse to the water. You can't force them to drink. Yeah. People pleasers. We do that a lot with people. But okay. Like I said, we didn't change. We don't do that no more. So some of the ways we could take care of ourselves as well. Like just, if you're going to help someone, ask them what they need. Tell me what you need. And then you can tell them what you can do, what you're capable of doing. Make it plain. And I mean, of course, sometimes you may go out the scope. You may do a little extra, but that's on you. It's your choice, not that you are, backed into it or you feel obligated. It's your choice. Okay, another thing when I say put yourself first, I'm laughing because I know I don't do it enough. We got to put ourselves first, definitely with exercising or eating right or spending time with ourselves, even quiet time. I know you probably heard me say I spend 30 minutes a day of sunshine. I didn't get it today, but I'm going to get it. So when I say 30 minutes a day of sunshine, I just cut everything off for 30 minutes, and I usually go outside. And when I say I go outside and I walk. I look at the sun, I even look at the birds. Sometimes I look at the ants, but it's 30 minutes. And at first, my daughter, she used to laugh at me. She was like, Mom, what's wrong with you? So she's like, you're looking at ants. But what it did for me, it may allow me to shut off. It allowed me to shut off. And the reason why I go outside is definitely because of D3. I didn't realize I wasn't getting D3. And because I used to be so busy inside doing things. And so it just give you a refresh. And it was like, it's a you time. And you can go outside, you could just shut down for 30 minutes, but it's also give you that quiet time, that quietness, that still, you may hear a still voice. You may be able to collect yourself. You may be able to get away from the hustle and bustle, the fast pace. You just be able to rest and sometimes regenerate, just get your energy back. You know what I'm saying? Or take a power nap, whatever it is, or just go to a bistro or something, just sit in the corner. Well, I know some people, you go sit in the corner, people will come up to you, but it's cool. But just take time out for yourself. And another thing, self-care, try to go on vacations. And when I say vacation, it can be a weekend trip. It could be a day trip. I've started doing that more as well. Just go on day trips, whatever state that you're in, a city that you're in, or explore your city. That was something that I did about 2 months ago. I explored my city. I became a tourist of my city. I did it for 2 days, and it was wonderful. And because it was things that changed, it was places that I didn't visit in a while. Oh my gosh! And another thing I did, waterfalls. I visit a lot of waterfalls. I'm in the state of Georgia, so I found a lot of waterfalls and covered bridges. So I started developing things I didn't really know I like. I love the outdoors, you can tell. So I'll pick up a new skill, a new hobby. When you put yourself first, you'll start developing new skills, and you'll find out that you like things that you didn't even know you liked. You'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know it was like this. And it'll force you to try different things because you're just getting out of your way. And you're saying, okay, I can help everybody else, but what do I want to do? Do I want to explore? So just go explore a new hobby, a new skill. Hey, you may find out you got a gift that you didn't know you had because you never tapped into it. And as I said, just put you first, even in your decisions. Because I know sometimes we can make decisions and we factor in our entire family, because I have done that. My family doesn't even live with me. But I factor it in and I was like, oh, how would they feel? What about this? How would it affect them? Oh, but it's okay. It's okay to factor in how you think it will affect your family if it's something that will affect your family. If it's definitely like something that maybe have a backlash or whatever, or, as a fallout, or even I say, something that would affect them. But overall, make sure that you weigh the scale. And when I say the scale, that you take the scale and make sure that it matters to you. Because sometimes people, even family members, don't understand your dream or your goals. Because the fact is, what you got to remember, they didn't dream it. And so a lot of times it can be your family who you least suspect. It can be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, whoever, even sometimes a close best friend. And they may not be favorable of your goal or your ideal or your dream. They may say it's impossible. But you know that you dreamt it, you understand it, you studied it. So go for it, okay? Go for it. Do that. Consider, listen to your voice, listen to yourself. And even if you do fail, guess what? You learn from it. You learn from it, right? How many times, especially, I don't know, I'm going to a bicycle. I keep going to the bicycle. How many times you rode a bicycle and you fell and you kept trying? Oh, I got another one for you. I cannot bowl. I am one of the worst bowlers there is. But guess what, honey? People keep inviting me because they have a great time. One thing, I mean, I can't bowl, but I bring the party. So I always get invited, right? And it is so crazy. I always get invited to bowling parties. Even, I was like, nah, you don't want me on your bowling team. People are like, oh, come on, LaToya. They just want me there because I just cut up. So, but seriously. You learn from your failure. So I'm getting better bowling. I'm learning a little bit. I'm not having as many gutter balls now. I think I go to 3 a game now. I mean, it was bad, y'all. It was really bad. I don't dance as much when I'm out there. Now I stopped dancing as much, so I still have 3. I used to be out there dancing, so I may have like 4 or 5. For real, for real. So, no, but seriously, you learn from your failures. It's okay. We learn from our failures, but if you believe, you keep on, it's gonna be okay. And just put yourself first. Like I said, no one taught us. We were not taught how to love ourselves. But guess what? We are learning now, and we know that we need to love ourselves and put ourselves first. So putting yourself first is a part of loving yourself, and you don't have to apologize to anyone because this is your life. We have one life, and it is a gift. We have one life to live. And remember, as long as we have breath in our body, we're above but not beneath, we winning. And we living the best life possible. All right. I'll see you later, cousin. See you next time. Bye.